Hello everyone to a new YouTube video by me, DavDav Building. Today I'm back with a brand new base build. This time it isn't any base, but a base me and a friend of mine named Otara built last Forcewide. We played on Playrust Small EU, an official weekly wiping server with a max pop of 200, which it permanently hit for the first few days of wipe. In this video I don't want to show you how to build this base, but a better one in which I fixed a lot of problems this base had because of me basically freestyling it. Going into the base, we have our regular single door airlock, as well as some windows for added visibility and garage doors for protection. Here you can see that the core of the base is a simple 2x2. In the front, here we have some utility items, as well as our jump up, which will lead to our shooting floor with peak downs. Going back down, we come to the rear 2 squares, which we used as loot room. Also, this base uses a lot of usable honeycomb to allow for enough loot space without making it too cramped on the inside. Here is a flame turret for protection of the jump up, as well as our fridge and my teammate Otara. We have to be very quiet for this one because he is sleeping and we don't want to wake him up. Going down here, we have my favorite type of stability bunker. If you don't know it, let me explain it really fast. You will go down here and place a half-height floor frame on a triangle embedded into the honeycomb to the left, and then a roof triangle onto that floor frame facing to the right to close the bunker. This is so great because it is super easy to add in front of your standard airlock, which is something that many early game bases have, but is often considered a weakness in your main base. To open the bunker from here, simply destroy the floor frame. Here in the core, we have a very nice loot room, as well as our tier 3 and my unlootable TC, which if you don't know how to build, I will link to a video right now. Beginning with the building, we will begin by placing down a single square foundation, which we will build in with walls and a single door frame. Place down the TC about 4/9 of length of the foundation away from the door frame. This is easy to see when the foundation is still stone. Also place down in the back as close to the wall and as far to the back as possible. This will later allow you to add new players to the group by giving them this back so they can spawn inside of the unlootable and get TC access from there. When you have the resources, expand into your 2x2 starter with a single door airlock. This common starter shouldn't make any people worried about you as an early game enemy who could later become a problem. For this loot room in your core, you can use any design you want, but I would advise you to use an efficient one because you only have one down there, and if it isn't good, you won't have enough storage for the early game. This is what your core design should look like in the end game. As you can see, we have space for up to 6 sleeping bags, about 10 large boxes in this main loot room, 3 furnaces at tier 3 and a locker to store our most valuable kits. We also have our unlootable, which holds about 3 large chests worth of loot. The first thing we do when expanding will be our jump up. For this, build 3 triangle foundations to form a bigger triangle with the airlock and leave the center foundation as twig. Build walls all around the first floor, as well as 2 window frames and a double door frame on the second floor. For now, we will use a furnace as our way to get up. For the beginning, expand the base like this. This will give you a lot of early game advantage over others by already having a shooting floor. But as always with second story entrance bases, in the early game we will have to add an entrance that for now will look very janky. For this we will add a roof that will lead to 3 floors in the air that lead into our base. When you want to use the second story as storage area, to not allow people to go deep on you easy by abusing you only having one door. Next thing we will want to do is add our actual entrance. Simply place 2 window and 1 door frame on the floors and upgrade them to stone. Next we will cover in all the soft sides showing to the outside. Make everything stone except the parts that we later won't be able to see. They will already be made metal. Adding in another door that opens to the outside like this will give us an airlock. Add in honeycomb to all the sides where there is no honeycomb. Something that I forgot to do before is place this foundation, because now the hitbox of the roof will stop you from placing it, so you should place it before placing down the roof. As soon as possible, upgrade all the honeycomb to metal. Once you have the ladder BP, you can start upgrading your jump up. For this we will finish the honeycomb. Don't forget to place a half height floor to the left. Once you destroy the twig, your bunker is ready to be used. Upgrading all the walls around the jump up to metal will ensure that raiders will have to destroy at least one metal wall before they get into the core. Once you need more storage, you can start building the second story loot rooms. Here you can use any box combination you want. I will be adding 3 large chests as well as 3 small boxes. Finish the honeycomb on the second floor like this. Leave it as stone for the beginning, but upgrade to metal as soon as possible. When we have done that, we can begin with the usable honeycomb. For this, build in all the honeycomb with a layer of metal walls like this. The triangle in the front should be accessible through windows and garage doors, because it will later become a potential pod for an auto turret that will guard our entrance. While we are already up here, we will add a half height layer of floors like this as an extra layer of honeycomb, as well as to allow us to place better peaks by breaking the restrictions of the walls below. The square next to the jump up can be used as storage. Here you can add a repair bench as well as a large box for guns to defend during an online raid, as well as a shotgun trap to stop people from going deep after having gotten into your shooting floor. Finish the jump up like this with 2 garage doors and 1 window frame. In the base, add 4 large boxes per usable honeycomb double triangle and 3 furnaces into the single triangle one. If you're new to the concept of usable honeycomb, I will link to a tutorial by me right now. Now the last thing remaining is the shooting floor. For this, add 5 triangles like this per side, connect them with single door frames to close the gaps, and windows on the side. In these I would place embrasures, but metal window bars should be good enough if you don't have a lot of metal or the BP. The last thing of this video will be the raid to all main loot. This will be 29 rockets, as well as a few hits with the jackhammer in this case. A lot of loot on the second story will still be protected by the garage doors, and if you want to protect it even more, a few external TCs around the base will also protect the windows from being picked up. This was the video, thank you all for watching, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, later!